Hey, everybody. Welcome to BU's team call tonight. My name is Chris Rosencrans. I'm a diamond if you don't know me. And I've been with Plexus for 6.5 years. It's probably 6 years and 7 months now, actually. So very thankful and blessed by this company, both the products and the business. And I'm so glad you guys are here tonight. I'm going to talk about something that I am super passionate about. I mean, I love every aspect about what we have here, but I really do love helping people get the most out of their products. And I believe our team is really good at it. Not just my team, but like our entire upline. We really are on a team that knows how to help people with their products, knows how to troubleshoot. We try not to shy away from those types of things, but I know that every once in a while we can sometimes get into the scarcity mindset, and we have a lot of new people that come in. And so I want to breathe some belief into you guys. And I want to remind you that you can do this. You do not need to be an expert. I was not an expert, even though a lot of people think, well, Chris, you were a PE teacher. You guys, they didn't teach me gut health and blood sugar balance and inflammation at Dordt College in 1995. Okay. They didn't teach that. And they didn't teach that in my after college courses either. I didn't get my master's, but I did take some classes just to keep up on my certification. And there were some parallels that I ran across with, just health topics, because that was kind of becoming a really big thing in the state of Michigan. And I was on some health teams for our school and went to some different conferences and listened to some doctors talking about how important water was and how bad pop was and what it was doing to kids' bones and stuff. And so there's some things I can say, yeah, I do. There are some things I remember hearing, but really the whole gut health thing was not my thing. I knew nothing about it. And I too panicked a little bit when I first started talking about Plexus to people and posting about it. And I tell people this all the time. I share it all the time in all my trainings. I think I probably just talked about it in a posting video I did for a group the other day, but I kind of freaked out once, like, I don't know what I'm talking about. So I better sit down and learn something. And so I did. And so I want to tell you that you can too. And did I retain it all right away? No, I didn't. It took lots of going back to articles, lots of Google. We didn't know about like PubMed, and we didn't do like Google Scholar and stuff back then. We just went straight to Google. And I learned how to read between the lines of, okay, they're trying to sell their supplement. And okay, this is a legit article with sites at the bottom and some of those things. So you kind of do have to be able to decipher between some things. But you guys, I didn't know what I was doing either, but I learned. And so you don't shy away and think like, well, I have no experience in this, so there's no way I can help people with this, or I'm just worried that they're going to get upset with me. No, I'm going to tell you right now, the fact that you are on the products and that you are on this team makes you more of an expert than the people you're sharing this with. Even the people who have done lots of research about gut health, who have researched their health a ton. Sarah Hallwarda, I'm going to pull your name out here a second. She knew way more about stuff. She had done the research because she was searching for years trying to find something to heal her body and get off of her meds. And when I started sharing about Plexus, it lined up, So I remember hours of conversation with Sarah, and I'm like, you know more about this than I do. And it was really exciting when she started sharing stuff, and she educated me, and she had an open mind and about conversation, and it was really good. And I think if you are willing to just talk to people and tell them what you know about our products, and even tell them that you don't know, but you're going to find out, that people, they respect that. They want to know that you are going to find out some answers for them and that you'll come back with some answers. And that's why you have your three-way chats. And that's why you're on this team, because you have an upline somewhere here, somewhere you're all under me, Sue, Sal, Jamie. And then we're lucky to have Tiffany and Fallon and Lori as our upline. And I remember I had Fallon actually private message me once about a question that I had. I felt so like honored. But I remember she sent me voice messages about just trying to help somebody troubleshoot a little bit and just gave me some tips. But it was exactly the same thing that Sal had been saying. So just know that you're in the right place on the right team. We have a team page full of information. Plexus YouTube site has great videos. Our science is coming out more and more with every product. They have just updated all of our info sheets. I've been working on getting those in the files. I kind of started on it at convention. And afterwards I started downloading some, and now I've got them on my laptop, but there's some more that I have to go through, and I have to delete the old ones and all that stuff. So it takes time, but there's so much good information. But we're also tied down a little bit with what we can say because of compliance. We all know that there's certain things that we can and cannot say about our products, what they can and cannot do. But we also know how to research, and there's thousands of people around this world that know how to use Google, and you can too. And you can look up the correlation between diseases and blood sugar, gut health, and inflammation, because there is information out there. There are studies, there are scientific studies out there. There's a lot of them. So just dig in and don't be afraid to learn, because the more you kind of look at those articles, and you don't have to read the whole thing. And yes, I didn't always understand and have time to read everything either. I was teaching elementary PE, and I had 3 young kids that were in school and needed their help with homework. And I had to make dinner, and Kevin worked 12-hour days. So I didn't have time either. But once you start digging in and you read articles, you start to draw parallels. Okay. And so that's really all I did, but you can do that too. And even if you haven't yet, you're still more of an expert than the people coming in that know nothing about what Plexus can do for them yet. Okay. You're the one that gets to present that to them. So you need to be excited about it. Every single time you check in with them, you need to check in with them often, and you need to be asking them the same questions quite a bit. Okay. So I wrote some notes, but I'm like already way off of them. So I'm going to quick tell you the questions that I generally will ask people, and my level ones and the people that I've coached will definitely be like, yep, she asked that a lot. Or if people come to me and they'll say, hey, Chris, can you help me with the situation? They send me screenshots. I'm always asking the exact same things. Okay. You always are asking, well, first of all, depending on where they're at in the products, and if they've been consistent, or if you have a lot of people on your team, sometimes you forget where people are at if you're not keeping track and writing things down, which is a good system to get into, but it's kind of hard to do that all the time. That's okay if you lose track, but just go back and have them tell you, okay, are you taking your products every single day? Are you being consistent? Which products? Okay. So that's the first one. Which products are you taking right now? Okay. And get exactly which products, have them list them, and how much of everything are you taking, and what times of the day are you taking them? Okay. Because all of that matters. It all matters. All right. You've got to know what they're taking, how much, and what times of the day, because we can tweak things. We can switch things around. We can, to help with bathroom visits, to slow them down or speed them up. We can, if they're feeling nauseous from something, we can get answers for that. I'll get into that, but we need to know their product regimen and what they've been doing. Okay. Another question, how much water are you drinking every day? Okay. You have to find that out, and you need exact amounts. Okay. And then you need to remind them that they have to be shooting for half their body weight in ounces, probably more, because if you exercise, you need 8 to 10 ounces for every 15 minutes of exercise. If it's 90 degrees outside, you need more water. If you're taking supplements that are trying to flush junk out of your system, you need more water. Okay. If you're on medications, you need enough water. There's a lot of, if you're eating certain foods, a lot of sugar and salt, you need water. So it's really, really important that you find out how much water they're drinking. Then you need to ask them, what has your nutrition been looking like? What have you been eating lately? Are you trying to stick to whole foods? Are you trying to eat lean meats, getting enough protein? I'd go far, are you eating vegetables? Are you eating more fruit? Do you eat a lot of dairy, drink a lot of milk? Do you eat sugar? Are you having ice cream every night? I mean, there's a lot of questions. you can ask those things. And I think a lot of times we shy away from that because we're worried that we're going to offend somebody because nobody wants to admit that they're eating junk. Okay. You have to ask them that, because if they are going to McDonald's every day and out for dinner, or if they're drinking a beer or two every night or a glass of wine, then, or whatever, but they're taking supplements and they're trying to make up for that, they are going to be spinning on the hamster wheel for a very, very long time, because you cannot out eat your poor health, and or you can't out supplement your diet. That's what I should say. That did not come out right. You cannot out supplement a really bad, poor diet, because if you are eating junk and you're taking supplements, you're literally canceling out your supplements. Okay. You do have to implement some good nutrition. So finding that out, asking them, because I bet you if you, and I know for me, if I'm having a week of bad bathroom visits, bad BMs, I can go back and look at, okay, what did I eat 2-3 days ago? Okay. Yeah, that was probably not a good thing. Pizza night, I have to take an extra bio cleanse or Probio 5. It's just the way my body is. All that bread on, I don't like the thin crust pizza. I want some bread. So like, so, and a lot of cheese and a lot of grease. You guys, it's not good for your digestive system. It's going to mess things up in a couple of days. So you have to find out what they're eating and just ask them nicely. Be like, it really does affect how these products are going to help you. We might have to adjust some stuff because you were at a few parties, so, and you just got to talk about that stuff with people. And there's no shame in that. You're not like food shaming people. You are trying to help them feel better. And generally, the biggest culprit is their nutrition. And you got to get to the bottom of that. Okay. All right. So I asked about nutrition. Medications, go over medications again. The medications that we're on, a lot of times medications can sometimes mess with people's systems. And they usually know that too. A lot of times people, when they talk to you about their medications, they'll say, yeah, this one can I can get constipated from this one, or this one makes me nauseous, or I have to make sure I take this one, an hour or two before I eat. Okay. We need to know those things, because if they can't take like thyroid medication, for example, if somebody's on thyroid medication, they usually take that first thing in the morning, usually really early, or they'll take it right before bed. Well, thyroid medication, we need to space out from trace minerals like chromium and like magnesium. And guess what chromium and magnesium are in? Slim and BioCleanse. So those are two supplements that we space out and make sure people don't take for sure 2 to 4 hours after. So if somebody takes thyroid meds in the morning, we usually say, okay, let's have you drink your Slim at lunch or in the afternoon. Okay. But they usually know that. That's a pharmacist thing. That's usually something they find out from their pharmacist. It's on the packaging. If somebody's been on thyroid medication, they've been doing that for a long time. Okay. So, but that's just one example. I do not know all of the medications and how to space everything out. I am not a pharmacist, but that's somebody that they can talk to about those things. Most of the time, doctors don't know anything about supplements. So I'm just going to say that now. It's not to be mean to the doctors, but I'm just saying they do not get nutrition education and they do not get supplement education. And I can tell you that from personal experience. So just saying, okay, you just have to make sure that you're communicating with them and finding out about medication and just see what they know and remind them, you're on these medications. Like, what was some of the side effects that you can get from that again? Okay. And sometimes the products are working and they're doing their thing, and they aren't needing their medication as much anymore. That can happen too, where they need to maybe tweak their medication. Now, can we suggest that they do that? No, they have to go to their doctor or they have to make that call on their own. But yes, have we had people do that before? Yep, we have. We've had people lower their anxiety meds or change their depression medication. We've had people say, I think I need to schedule a doctor's appointment and get my thyroid checked because something's changing here and I want to see what's going on. And they'll find out they can lower their thyroid meds. So because the products are working and their body is healing. So you need to ask about medications, remind them of that. Also find out, of course, then I mean, before medications, I always ask about bathroom visits. What have your bathroom visits been like? And you cannot be embarrassed about that because we are in the gut health business. Talk about poop a lot. Okay. And so don't worry about it. You can say BMs or whatever. But that's what we work with here. We're helping people poop or not as much, and so that's what we have to ask them. We have to ask them a question. So don't shy away from it. And a lot of times people are going to be like TMI, and all you have to say is it's not TMI. I talk to, 20 people a day or a week about this, or a month or whatever, or hundreds if you have a big team. So it's what we talk about, but you have to know, because if they are not going enough or if they're going too much, then there's some adjustments that have to be made. Okay. So I just listed a bunch of things there. And if you're taking notes, hopefully you got all that. But another one too is sleep. Are you getting to bed on time? That's a really important thing. Sometimes people are not sleeping well, but that could be because of their nutrition and maybe eating too late at night. It could be because of just multiple reasons, right? It could be because of stress. That's something else. Ooh, that's another question. Have you been under any extra stress lately? Because stress, you guys, is really hard on the body. Okay. I would say, oh man, I can't give you a percentage, but almost every disease, if you look things up, there's been a lot of diseases over the years that I've read up on, things that I've never heard of, that one of the ways that your body can go through that illness or come into that illness is through extreme stress. And so, and I can give you, not personal examples, but I can give you like examples from people that I've come across that have had that certain situations. So stress is huge and it's very hard on the body. It can throw the body into type 1 diabetes. I've heard of that happening. Actually, I know that happened, but not to a customer of mine. This was even, I don't know, remember if I was doing Plexus or not, but I was teaching PE at the time. So if it can throw the body into type 1 diabetes, then it can do a whole lot of other things too. So you just really need to talk to people about that. And then, ask them questions and show them that you care, because sometimes they just need somebody to talk to too. And that's what we're here to do. We are in the relationship business. We are here to help people and to support them. And there's a lot of aspects to that. Okay. So that is typically the list that I go through quite often. If somebody comes to me, or if I go to a customer and ask, and we're trying to figure something out, I will go through all those questions. I'll even try to get them on the phone. Sometimes that's better, is I'll get them on the phone rather than trying to go through Messenger and do it. But just, you need to have those conversations. Okay. So from there, what I would do then is, I guess you can just adjust their products as needed. So let's just use the triplex, for example. First of all, we all know our team starts everybody on the triplex. That's where we go first. It is the baseline root healer of every illness, every health frustration and struggle that people have. So blood sugar, inflammation, and gut health controls everything. So we need to make sure we're always going after that. Now we've got this awesome reset tool that we can help bring people in with that first, to really help their body jumpstart, to like get rid of the junk, the nutrition junk that they've been doing, to get rid of just some of the toxins that have been building up. And so that is highly, highly recommend. I know my team is really doing great with their welcome packs, doing the reset and the 189 welcome pack. So way to go, you guys. And you guys, people are excited about it. And for those of you who have snooped in your back office, you have probably noticed that your paycheck has dropped, and that reset has done some pretty amazing things for our businesses. So it's pretty huge. It's amazing for our health, but it's also amazing that we have this tool. Okay. So starting people on the reset, I guess I should back it up to that. We want to start people on the reset. As far as detox goes with the reset, you're just going to have to be real with people. Some people might not notice anything. They're just going to be hungry. Some people might be like, they might be running to the bathroom. So you're going to need to be real with them. Okay. Some people might not go at all. But they're getting rid of junk. Okay. They're either, if they're stopped up, it's because of something. Well, then what I would say is if they have the triplex, let's get you started on the bio cleanse. Throw in one bio cleanse. All right. So if somebody's constipated doing the reset, what's that going to hurt? That's going to help move things along. And it's only 3 days, and they would be starting it, in a few days anyway. So I would say jump on that and get that going. If they are really loose and they haven't been doing anything else, then I would, and they're brand new, then you're just going to have to love them through it. Okay. Yeah. Because their body is obviously needing, their bowels needed to be hydrated. The hydrate's probably helping with that. Electrolytes will do that. And it's probably helping to flush junk out, and remind them or educate them that our bowels can hold an awful lot of gunk. And so if they have stuff built up, then that's something that needs to come out. And that's a good thing. It might be bothersome and annoying, but they can work through it. Okay. And it's probably because of this amazing drink right here. Okay. There's a lot of awesome properties in here, but it also could be just from the fiber in the hunger control. It could be from the really clean bone broth that we're consuming. Our bodies are not used to consuming such clean nutrition. So that can kind of wake things up, when it's the body's used to being stopped up a little bit with junk and grease and whatnot and carbs and whatever. So just love them through that. If it's a customer who has already been on the products, they're taking the triplex and they are, constipated, again, you want to help them out. So increase your bio cleanse, increase your probio 5 by 1 of each, maybe. Just see how that goes. But again, it's only 3 days. So, just kind of have them play with that. If they get really loose and they've been on the products and they've been continuing their triplex regimen, then have them back down on their bio cleanse and probio 5. Obviously they can't stop the slim because that's part of the reset. But for me, I don't take the bio cleanse during the reset. I learned that my first round, and I took one this morning, and now I was reminded today why my body doesn't need that extra support of that right now. I also back down on my probio 5. I usually take 4 probio 5 every night. I've only been taking 2. So, and that just helps me not be so flushed out. Okay. So, yeah. Sal, Jean, I have not been looking at the comments. So, but I just chose to there. Thanks so much, Sal. Yeah. Don't trust it too. It's just the fact. So just saying, anyways, so you can adjust that with them. Okay. But you've got to be talking to them. You've got to be communicating that with them. Okay. And then the same thing goes for the triplex. Okay. If you get all these answers from people and they are telling you what they're doing, if they've been super consistent, I mean, I cannot go into every situation, but if they've been very consistent with the products and they haven't changed what they've been eating or whatever, and they've kind of been taking the same regimen, we might have to move things around. We are not married to this perfect slim in the first thing in the morning, bio cleanse on the bottle, between meals. I didn't take it like that because I would have forgotten it while I was teaching. I took it first thing in the morning, and I'd take a bio cleanse more like that in the afternoon. And then there was a time that I went through detox and I flipped my bio cleanse to bedtime, which at the time was like a big no, but I had to because I didn't have a BM for like a week and I was miserable. So that's the way I've been doing it for 6 years now. 5 years, something like that. I think 5 years now. And so everybody's different. You can adjust things. You can split things up. You can change how people take things. Okay. And you can increase doses too. I do think we have to be a little careful about saying specific things, because every once in a while I'll hear people say like, you can take up to this amount. You'd be surprised how much of something some people take. Like today I was on a thread just getting some information, and I saw that there was somebody who took 12 bio cleanse when she first started Plexus. That's how constipated she was. 12 bio cleanse. She did 4 in the morning, 4 at noon, and 4 at bedtime. 12. That's like insane. And I know a lot of times we'll hear you can take up to 6 or up to something. So everybody's different with some of these things. Okay. I'm not telling you to go tell everybody to take 12 bio cleanse. Okay. I'm not saying that, but just know that there's some flexibility with our products. Like I said, I take 4 probio 5 every night. I can't take less than that, or I break out, or I won't poop. So I have to take 4. unless I'm doing the reset, then I'm okay. But that is my magic number, and it has been for a long time. Sometimes I might take an extra ProBio 5 in the morning if the night before I did go out for dinner and I know that I'm probably going to need a little bit of extra enzyme and probiotic support the next day. I'll take a ProBio 5 in the morning with my morning supplements. So like, you can be flexible with this. You have to be willing to think outside the box and outside of the instructions on the bottle. Okay. You have freedom with that. And everybody's different too. Yeah. Like some people can't take, I'm just looking at comments here, BioCleanse at night because that's too much for them, because doing the BioCleanse and the ProBio 5 back to back like that rushes things through the system too much. It's the scrubbing and the flushing happens too fast. So they would have to take their BioCleanse during the day. That's great. So there's so many scenarios, but I just want you to know that you have to ask questions and you have to be very positive and get your sponsor involved. You need to do this in your chats. If you're not doing this in your chats, you're going to have a really hard time getting buy-in from your customer, because they're just going to think that you're just throwing these things at them willy-nilly. If you have your sponsor support and get them to come in and either back you up or help give suggestions, that's going to be a lot more believable for them. Believe it or not, even our most loved people that surround us and our family and our friends that are our supporters, they still will believe a stranger over us. Okay. I think we've all experienced that in some way, shape, or form. So, it's just really important that you are in using your chat, that you're asking questions of your sponsors and that you're getting help there. Okay. But do that in the chat. Let me see. I'm mostly talking about bathroom visits here, but if somebody, I'm just going to throw another situation out. Let's say you have somebody who gets like shaky after they drink the Slim. Okay. I had that a few times. Or they get acid reflux after they drink the Slim. I had that a few times. The times I had acid reflux a little bit was because I slammed my Slim and then I went and worked out in the basement. Okay. So yeah, that's like all sloshing around in there. Right. And that's not something that my body was ever really used to. And every once in a while, not very often. And it's been forever. I can't even, it's maybe I could count on one hand in 6 years, how often that happened. But every once in a while, so I'd have to stop and I'd think about it. Now, if somebody's really struggling with it, then we have to talk about that. Acid reflux, heartburn is a gut health issue. And it's very possible that that's a detox for them. They may be stirring some junk up and it's starting to, that the yeast and the gases from the yeast are starting to do some things and stuff is breaking down. And so that could be a detox for them. We have articles and lots of great detox videos in our team page that you can go to. All you have to do is type in detox and read through those, and you will get an answer for heartburn, bloating, constipation, loose stools. It's listed. Okay. And there's several of them. So go educate yourself, read up on that stuff. And then again, talk to your sponsor, make sure that your sponsor sees that and can help walk them through that. But they can adjust sometimes when they drink their Slim. Some people love it first thing in the morning. Some people can't have it first thing in the morning. Some people need it more in the afternoon. I have had many people over the years say, I loved my Slim first thing in the morning. I had all day energy until my kids went to bed at night and I didn't need to nap on the couch anymore. I was good to go. I was doing my Plexus business till midnight. I was like Energizer Bunny from my Slim first thing in the morning. Some people don't need that. They feel like they have their slump in the afternoon and that's when they need to drink their Slim. That's okay. It's all right. There really isn't hard, fast rules for some of this. The only one we really want people to stick to is the ProBio 5. Because we love those enzymes and those probiotics to be working in the gut when there's a long span of time between meals, because otherwise enzymes, especially digestive enzymes and probiotics, tend to gravitate towards the food and work on that first. So we want them to have a chance to work on the leftovers and the junk and the gunk. That's why we keep that one at bedtime for the most part. But that too could be flexible if people need it. I mean, we've got stories for everything. So, let me see. I could keep going. It's 8:59 though. I want to make sure that I don't miss some of this stuff. But one big thing I want to just say, and maybe I can, Oh, here. Okay, Leah, good question. Before I get to that, I will get to that, Leah, here is one thing that you guys just to remember is if you can help your customers fall in love with these products, they will share. They will share with somebody because somebody's going to notice that they're not as puffy. Somebody's going to notice that they're not as crabby. Somebody's going to notice that they have tons of energy, and they are not going to be able to be quiet about it because they're going to feel like a different person. Yes, there's a lot of people that just zip their mouth and don't say anything and take their supplements in the privateness of their own homes. But there are a lot of people that if they are social enough, it changes their life, they will share. That's basically my entire team. Is that was their stories because they could not, they started seeing it everywhere after their health was changed. They were like, wow, this person's complaining about this and this person's complaining, oh, my family member's been on these meds for years, and they'll start seeing different things and hearing things from me talking to them about their products. So that is why right there, you have to make sure that you get bold and get confident about being bold and confident about these products and getting into chats and sharing that with people and not shying away from it and being scared or being worried that they're going to get upset with you. I don't just let people quit. If somebody says to me, they're just not working, and I've probably had a few of those in the last couple of weeks, they're not working right now. I don't think this is good. I don't just let people walk out the door. I always say, well, let's look at what your goals were. Let's revisit this. What happened with your products? Where have you been taking them? And many times you can bring people back by just keeping the conversation going rather than saying, oh, I'm sorry, Plexus didn't work with you. Okay, I'll help you call customer service and cancel. No, that is not an option. We don't do that here. We go to them. We ask all the questions. We remind them why they started the products. We remind them about some of the victories they had from the beginning, or just recently. We go back to those things and we tell them this takes time, and we spell that all out and we try to keep the conversation going. Yes, sometimes people are going to quit, but if that happens after you have done all you can to talk to them about all of those things, then you can at least feel good about the fact that, well, I tried. I reminded them of the things. I told them what they could do. And it really is ultimately up to them. And some people are just stubborn, but guess what? A lot of those people come back. So that's why it's really important that you still kind of state your case, why this is the thing for them and why this is so important. Don't just let people walk away. So important. Yes, get your sponsor to come in and talk. Yep. Because that third party, like they said, if they don't listen to you, they'll probably listen to the complete stranger, which is just absolutely crazy. But it's true. Okay, Leah, you did say, can you talk about weight gain on the products, causes, how to change up regimen? Yes. So weight gain can happen for a lot of different reasons. A lot of times it is the buildup of gases that are being, and bloating that's happening from the products working. So again, you need to revisit, like, nutrition is huge. They need to stay away from probably gluten and dairy. That's a hard one for people. Very hard for them to hear, you can't have bread, or you can only eat certain kinds of bread. But you can ask, like, are you willing to do that for a time, for a couple months while you take these products and while we can see if we can adjust things. I would say some of the products to add in, and I didn't even get into that, but ease would be a really important one to add in, because if there's inflammation, then, and if there's puffiness going on and inflammation happening from that yeast being broken down, that ease can come in. There's 2 digestive enzymes in ease that eat up inflammation. So those will come in and those can start breaking that down. It's just another layer of the breakdown process. So having them take ease in the morning or ease at bedtime, that can really help with that. Drinking, how much water are you drinking? Sometimes it can be water weight that they're gaining. I remember having a conversation with somebody under Janelle where she said, I don't know, Janelle, if you remember that, Cinda, Cinda was really good. She was very sciencey too. She knows all the things, but she said that once she was like, she could tell when she started, she never really drank a lot of water, and she could tell that she was kind of getting waterlogged. And then all of a sudden there was this time where she just felt like she shed everything and like was going to the bathroom a lot. And then she just felt lighter. And I think she sent us an article too about how your cells, if they're not used to being hydrated like that, they can almost like not know what to do with it. So that can be some cause of that. So just helping them continue on. I'm thankful for the hydrate product, because hydrate and electrolytes are really important for good hydration. I love that our reset starts with hydrate in the morning, because we dehydrate every single night. And so those minerals in there are super, super important for just full total body function and hydration. So introducing that product to them would be really good. There's so many avenues we can go, but when people start talking about weight gain, I really believe that it's the products are trying to do their thing, but there's possibly some nutrition that's standing in the way, and that we may really need to discuss that. But yeah, you could go down a lot of different avenues with that. So, and sugar. Okay. Thank you. Sugar. And people just don't realize it. They don't realize what a culprit sugar can be. So, you know, they're going to have to give some things up. Like, are they having a drink before bed every night? They're going to need to maybe give that up for a time, because that glass of wine has a lot of sugar in it. And that's not what you want to be going to bed with in your system. It's dehydrating. It's messing with your hormones. It's messing with your blood sugar, all of that. So there's, like I said, lots of avenues we could go down. And yes, our weight fluctuates every day. Who's weighed themselves first thing in the morning and then weighed themselves before bed at night? I gain like 4 pounds every day, literally. But you also eat all day long and drink all day long too, right? And like other things you're consuming. So there's just a lot of things going on. Oh, good information. Yep. Liver isn't able to detox. Yep. So good. Okay. So much information. Oh yes. Sleep. Oh yeah. We could just go down all these avenues too. Sleep is a huge culprit of weight gain as well. So people, if you start getting 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night, that's going to help with inflammation. It gives your body a chance to rest and restore. That's why it says in the booklet for you to get 7 to 8 hours of sleep every night while you're doing the reset, because you need your body needs to regenerate and to restore itself at night. And if it's not doing that, you're not giving it enough time at rest in order for it to function properly during the day and to shed all those toxins and get rid of stuff, because it's still working at night. So, yeah, there's a lot more information out there, but I just wanted to go over some of these things with you guys again. And just want to embolden you and empower you and just remind you that you are the expert. You know what you're talking about. You do not need to be scared. If you are scared, you need to talk to your sponsor about that ASAP, because that's going to hold you back in your business big time. Big time. You have to be bold. You have to be proud that you're with Plexus, because our company is where it's at. Our products are top notch. They are researched. We have doctors and nurses and naturopathic doctors and chiropractors and OTs and PTs that are all sharing our products all over the country. And they wouldn't do that and put their name behind it if it was something they thought was full of junk. Okay. And it's just getting better and better all the time. So you just really need to trust that and believe it, because yeah, that's part of, this is your business. And if you have people that are coming in, but they're not getting the support and they're not getting getting their bodies to a place of healing, we have the power to help with that. And if we're not getting people there, then they won't want to stay. All right. And if you want people to stay and have true victories that you're experiencing, you've got to put that work in. And yes, you're going to have to learn a little bit. You're going to have to experiment and play around with doses and talking to them and be willing to kind of think outside the box and get other people involved. But it is worth it when you can help people get those victories. And then when they start telling their friends and family, and they start telling their friends and family, then that's really where the magic happens. Okay. So I hope this was helpful. I hope it gave you guys some confidence to go out there and just jump in your chats and help people out, and everybody's going to be feeling amazing. All right. Thanks, friends, for jumping on, and we'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.